Hello, Nicole, Gator, Buttons. I know your name is Vivian. Casper, Stella, and Vinny Pepperoni. I love pepperoni on my pizza. So, I'm going to tell you a little story why Richard don't want me in St. Louis. I came out there when Alex, my grandson, passed away. And I came out there. I helped with the funeral. I bought the coffin. Never asked for the money. I spent $2,000 on Nicole and Gator because Sugar only had Nicole and Gator. And I spent all the money I had on my last dollar. I just had enough to buy me a pack of cigarettes. And Sugar, I hope you remember this. And don't say I just did it once, because when you left Jonathan and you went to Beretta, it cost me close to $1,800 to send everything I send you for the baby, because you said she didn't have milk and diapers. I bought her milk, diapers, clothes, everything. I bought Honey her gift card that she wanted for her blanket. I put money in the box. Last time I sent you $6,500 with the stuff, plus money, jewelry, diamonds, you name it, you had it. And I can't believe, Sugar, you say that I abused you. I hit you one time by mistake. It was by mistake. And you know that. Don't be a liar. But the whole thing is, when I left, I never wanted a dollar back from them at all. I never wanted it, because why? It was my grandkids. You're my blood. I love you. Even though I don't see you now, I always love you guys. I always try to find a way to get on Instagram just to see your pictures. And just wanted to let you know that. The second time I went to come see you guys for 4th of July, I came there on the 2nd. By the 2 days, by the 4th of July, Jonathan and Sugar got killed because she stole 14 pain pills out of my pain bottle, and God only knows how many Xanax. She was freaked out and weird and high and stoned. And I was on Jonathan's side 100% because I was wrong what she did. Plus, she was talking to a guy on the chat line, and she wanted to leave her husband for that guy. And I told her not to, because your husband makes money for you. Don't split up your children. You're going to make the biggest mistake and the regret of your life if you do that. So, Jonathan, you should be grateful that because of me, you still have a wife. And Jonathan. Marjanman, Shisardaman Tuhau Allen. Aikide Sylvia. Del Panadi like Irat, I rebuke her and bind her in the name of Jesus. Kujlama Shiga Data, Wotang Lamandi. Akulani Shiga Kujlaki Dadesi Gajagus. Motak Wafki Dadesi Gajes. Atudampe O Allen. How Jonathan Be Sugar. Te Marilla me to the Mangwal. And I just got out of the hospital 2 weeks ago from heart failure. I got out of the hospital and I put myself in front of my daughter so they won't beat the crap out of her. And guess what? They knew I was sick and they were punching me and kicking me in my chest because I had heart failure. They whipped the shit out of me, my two son-in-laws. And for all the Americans that sees this, I just wanted to say, I said in my language that my two son-in-laws beat the crap out of me. At 2 o'clock in the morning, my son-in-law came after they beat me up. They took all the phones, all the chargers, everything out of the house. I couldn't call 911. And Sylvia came, and Alan. Your mother was coming home with me. But then Beretta always brainwashes Sugar and Honey and Danny against me. But my son wanted to come home. That's a different story. That'll be part 3 maybe. But the point is, they beat me up. They threw me out of the house. They put me in a hooker room, a $20 hooker room. And then when I went to the airport to come back home to Florida, they sent a narc agent on me saying that I was a drug dealer. And I had a big wad of money, which all I had was $20 on me. Narc agents came, and I told them the truth, that Richard Eli was lying, that the mayor helps him, that he bribes the mayor, and the mayor baptized his grandchildren, and that he was a gypsy mobster, and he hides B&E people, and he gets money from the poor little people that don't have money. He takes their money and says, if you don't cooperate, he will put you in jail, because that's his town. It's nobody's town but his town. So he helps the gypsies, but yet he screws them over too. So thank God I'm not a gypsy no more. I've been Americanized since 20 years now. Thank you, Jesus, for that. I got out of that ugly lifestyle, because they're heartless. But the whole thing is, that's what happened. They called the narcs on me. They wanted to lock me up in St. Louis. And I don't know anybody in St. Louis. They knew that. My mother and father died. I have nobody. My sisters don't give a shit. My brothers don't give a shit about me. Nobody. So they knew that. So they wanted to lock me up and throw the key. But I told the narc officer that what he does, that he hides the gypsies. He has a basement underground in his house where he hides the gypsies. He has police officers on payroll and booking department. The police actually don't take their fingerprints, because Richard Eli gives them $2,500 a piece not to. And then they take him in the back, and Richard Eli picks him up and puts him downstairs in their apartment and drives them to Florida, drives them to wherever they go. And that's what happened. They draw first blood. They wanted to lock me up. So when I came home, yeah, I called it child abuse, but not on sugar and not on honey. I gave Sugar a heads up. I said, don't go to Richard and Sylvia. And don't take your kids. Let Jonathan go, but you don't go with your children. She asked me why. I said, do not ask me why. And tell Honey the same thing, because Richard is going down. And Sugar didn't listen, because Sugar was a big heroin dope addict then. She probably forgot, but I warned her, because I didn't do that to my daughters. I wanted to hurt Richard like he wanted to hurt me. He took my daughters away from me. He don't let me see my grandchildren. And plus he wanted to lock me up and lied about me. You see, they never mention the good things I do for you. They only mention the bad things. They forgot all the good things I done, because they don't mention the good things. Why should they? They want you guys to hate me. But I love you guys, always, forever. Even though I don't know you guys that much, just remember, you do have them on me. It's me, Barbara, and I love you guys. And I hope one day I'll get to see you. When you guys grow up, I hope you look for me, because you know what? You're missing out on a great, great grandmother. I'm fun. You can ask. I get along with anybody. And I'll spoil you guys to death, like I spoiled my children. Maybe if I would have given them a little bit tough love, maybe they would have loved me. But I guess it is what it is. So that's my story. And Richard, I left you to God, what you done to me. Where my son died and you didn't let me see my son. You put a barcode at the hospital. If I called not to tell him information that my son was dying in the hospital, I didn't get to see my son died. I didn't get to see my son to go to a funeral, because you people lied. He was buried in Indianapolis, but he was really buried in St. Louis. You lied to all my family that you didn't have money to bury my son, Beretta. And Make-A-Wish Foundation gave him his last wish. He wished for a burial, because he didn't have money to bury him. But if he was with me, I would have buried my son. His wish would have been probably go to Europe, see the Eiffel Tower. But no, with you, You had to ask for a burial and a funeral. And Make-A-Wish Foundation did it. And you lied the whole world, pastors including. You scammed the whole world for about 21 grand off your dead son. God have mercy on you people because you're heartless. You asked my family for money to bury my son. So because I didn't have money at that time. So I wouldn't come to the funeral to see my son. My only son. Because Kevin passed away. I had 3 babies that passed away, sugar. You know how it feels. Plus a grandchild. It hurts more for me. Because I lost 3 and a grandbaby. You only lost 1. And you're taking it hard. You're on heroin for it. So, imagine me. Stupid gypsies. Don't have a heart for nobody but yourselves. And Jonathan, one of these days you'll get yours. You will. And Alan. Pai malado pipayosa hai manush manushosa. This time I'll be prepared. So I'll see you again, Jonathan and Alan. Thank you for beating me up and throwing me out of your house at 2:30 in the morning and lying my daughter that I made trouble and not let me see my daughters. Watch what God is going to do to you. And Richard, I left you to God. That's why your wife died and your son died. To see how it feels when you love someone and you can't see him anymore. Just like you did with my daughters and my son. I couldn't see my dead son. I couldn't go to his funeral. That's why you're like this. And you spend, God only knows that you spent the courts. Because I called the child abuse on you and the income tax. And you lost your house. You can't drive no more. You had to sell the house to Honey and Alan. But at least I done my daughter a favor. She's got a house. And everything in it. And Richard, I made you Honey's little bitch. How you like that? Functioning alcoholic. You couldn't take your kids to school no more. You couldn't be around children no more. How you like it now? That's what happened. That's what Barbara did to you. Because you drew first blood. And that's why you didn't want me around. Because you know I'm not as scared of you. Maybe Beretta is because he's wanted. But I'm not. I just wanted my grandchildren and my daughters to know this.